Yo guys, before the video starts, the majority of you watching these videos aren't actually subscribed according to my analytics, so right now, subscribe with notifications on so you never miss a video. It would be really appreciated, but yeah, let's get right into it. What's going on guys, it is Tomo Thompson Wrestling and welcome back to another video, and we are back with another top 5 list. Last week I did a video talking about the top 5 worst TNA World Heavyweight Champions of all time, and at the end of the video I posted a poll asking you guys what top 5 you would like to see next. And as you can tell by the title, the winner of the poll was the top 5 worst X Division champions. It got over half of the votes, so it seems that you guys really want to see this one. Obviously, there has been a lot of bad X Division champions. The title has been around for a while, but I can only do this list as 5 people, so a lot of you will think that I missed someone out or that this list is wrong. Obviously, we will have a different opinion, so comment below right now who you think was the worst X Division champion. I'm going to be responding to some comments, so do it now. The X Division I always thought was a shining light in TNA through a lot of TNA's dark periods, but it did have its ups and downs, and today we do count down the top 5 worst X Division champions in TNA history. Let's get started. Coming in at number 5, we have Sonny Siaki. So, Sonny Siaki was pretty much just a big muscly dude. He's the kind of guy you'd expect to see pushed in WWE just based on the fact that he's muscly, and we all know Vince loves his muscly men. But he actually got a little bit of a push in TNA, and when he left WWE following the end of his TNA run, he didn't really do anything in WWE, so kind of the opposite of what we would have expected. Siaki was a one-time X Division champion in TNA, and he had a very forgettable reign. He debuted in June 2002 as part of a stable called the Flying Elvises, who were Elvis impersonators, and yes, I'm being serious, because, you know, one Elvis impersonator wasn't enough, so why not an entire stable? The Elvises would later split up in August of that year, and Siaki would turn heel and join Vince Russo's stable, the Sports Entertainment Extreme, but the Extreme was spelt with an X, so the initials were very questionable and a word that would get me demonetized. Supposedly behind the scenes, Russo was really high on Siaki and wanted him to be a star in the company, even cutting a promo on air labeling him as the future. But the problem was that Siaki was a charisma vacuum and couldn't cut a promo to save his life. On December 11th, 2002, he defeated Jerry Lynn to capture the X Division Championship. He held the title for just over 2 months, losing it to Loki on February 12th, 2003, and never really did anything in TNA afterwards, so pretty forgettable reign there. Coming in at number 4, we have Sheikh Abdul Bashir, and you might remember him from WWE, where he went under the name as Sean Devine, and for the sake of this video, I'm just going to call him Bashir. So Bashir debuted in TNA in June of 2008 and would sign a full-time contract and later re-debut on the July 24, 2008 episode of Impact under the Sheikh Abdul Bashir name, and he pretty much kept the same gimmick he had in WWE as an anti-American and quickly established himself as a heel. Something else he did very quickly was win the X Division Championship. He won it at No Surrender on September 24th in a triple threat match, also including P.T. Williams and Consequences Creed, aka Xavier Woods. Bashir coming in from the WWE, where he was just a lower mid-card act, and immediately winning the X Division title, really just exposed the lack of depth the division had at the time, and TNA's need to constantly hire and push former WWE guys. He lost the title 2 months later to Eric Young, and never really did anything in the company afterwards, making his reign pretty pointless and makes you wonder why they even had him hold the title. He would later leave the company in 2009 after requesting his release, and it was written off after he received the pink slip in the infamous Feast or Fired match, which is definitely a topic for a future video. That stipulation was kinda crazy. Coming in at number 3, we have Six-Pack. So Six-Pack he's X-Pac, by the way, just in case you couldn't tell for whatever reason, and we all know that X-Pac was a fairly big star and quite an exciting star in the 90s while in WWE and WCW, but in 2002, yeah, not so much. Six-Pack debuted on September 18th in TNA, and less than a month later, he was the X Division champion. He won it in a ladder match on October 9th to capture the vacant title, and once again, this is just a reign where you wonder why TNA even had him hold the title, because he held the title for 2 weeks and would lose the title to AJ Styles. So once again, why was he the champion? I mean, you could argue he was the champion to, I don't know, pop a rating or something, but the fact is that this is 2002 and TNA were a new promotion. You don't need X-Pac to be the champion, and even if it did pop a rating, making him the champion for only 2 weeks isn't really going to help retain those viewers. Let's be real in this. Coming in at number 2, we have Johnny Devine. Now, Johnny Devine had a very interesting TNA career. It seemed like TNA really didn't know what to do with him, and they were always changing their minds on what to do with him, and he was repackaged at least once a year while he was there. No lie. He first debuted in 2006, and he would join Paparazzi Productions, a stable made up of him, Alex Shelley, Kevin Nash, and Austin Starr, aka Austin Aries. They were pretty much a stable who filmed everything and stalked people and blackmailed people with videos of them. And if you guys want to see a video of me talking about Paparazzi Productions, let me know, because it sounds pretty crazy. Devine would later be replaced in the stable by Austin Aries, and Devine would debut a new stable called Soronatin, I don't really know how to pronounce it, along with Matt Bentley and Kazarian, and he would start wrestling under the new name of Havoc. But of course, this stable went absolutely nowhere too, and on the November 15th episode of Impact, Team 3D took him hostage. The X Division would rescue him, but Devine would attack them all with a kendo stick and would start labeling himself as the traitor of the X Division, and abandon the Havoc name and go back to Johnny Devine. He would defeat Jay Lethal on the January 24th, 2008 episode of Impact to win the title for himself. However, you guessed it, another pointless reign. He lost the title 20 days later back to Jay Lethal and against all odds. I mean, all this hype around him being the traitor of the X Division just for him to win the title and have a 20-day reign. It's classic TNA. And number 1 is Abyss. In my research for this video, it was almost unanimous among the internet through different articles and forum posts that Abyss was the worst X Division champion of all time. Something that TNA loved to do with their X Division was book a larger person as the champion. Even though the X Division was kind of tailored for cruiserweights, there was actually no weight requirement for the belt, and so TNA often booked big guys to win the title. And this is pretty cool because it meant that you would see these bigger guys competing in these high spots matches like ladder matches and the Ultimate X. And the idea of a larger guy bullying these smaller guys and holding the title hostage almost is not a bad idea in theory. But Abyss winning the title, however, was not good. Abyss won the title in May 2011 from Kazarian, officially becoming the heaviest person to win the title at 350 pounds. And Abyss as champion was just weird, man. Like, he was the monster in Eric Bischoff's war with the X Division that he was having for some reason. And when he won the title, he would label the title as the Extreme title, and Abyss would start quoting from the book The Art of War. It was strange. Abyss had a very lackluster reign and just didn't kill the X Division like they were trying to, like the whole point of Eric Bischoff's war against the X Division was. But he also kind of did, because he lost the title after 55 days to Brian Kendrick, and after he lost it, Bischoff put a weight limit on the title, making it 225 pounds and below are allowed to compete for it, which pretty much killed the concept of the title being no limit. So, nice one Eric, nice one Abyss, nice one TNA, appreciate it. And yes guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy, smack the like button. Let me know in the comments who you thought was the best X Division champion. Let's hit, or best and worst X Division champion actually, how about that? Let's hit, I don't know, 420 likes, it's a funny number, haha epic. And I wanted to real quickly address yesterday's video. I did a TNA Classic pay-per-view review of Victory Road 2011, and I got a fair bit of criticism for it. A lot of people saying they didn't want it to be a face cam video. So when I do another classic pay-per-view review, I will make sure that I'm doing it not face cam, and instead I'm showing clips where I can, you know, because of copyright, and as well as just showing images and just, you know, editing it a little better than I did yesterday. I appreciate all the constructive criticism and the feedback, and I do appreciate the support on the video regardless. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Smack the like button if you did enjoy. 420 likes, let's hit it. Follow me on Twitter at Thompson Wrestling. My Instagram is at I'm Tom Bell. Patreon.com/ThompsonWrestling to help support the channel. Goodbye, and keep on rolling.